Hi, everybody. This is DearMamaSal. We are live on a Friday evening, which means we're in the kitchen meal prepping, and I'm really looking forward to that today. I hope you've had a good afternoon. For those of you who weren't at the lunchtime broadcast, we were talking about frustration. Let's hope we don't hit too many frustrating moments this evening, but we never know, do we? All right, so we've got quite a full program today. I, as usual, went into the fridge to see what I've got too much of, because that's the way that I like to cook. What have I got too much of that I need to use up, and let's meal prep around that. Hi there, Sandy. Good to see you. So, two things. Number one, I've still got too much coconut. I've got too much Parmesan cheese. I found out that I must have ordered it twice without meaning to, so I need to use it up. And luckily, I've got a piece of chicken, so later on we're going to be doing my version of a chicken parmesan. But in the meantime, let's do some other stuff and see what we can come up with. I thought I'd start with my smoothie of the day, and my smoothie today, I'm going to start with a piece of beetroot. Now, Jodie's the expert on all of these things, but I do believe beetroot is good for your iron content, so I'd like to start with some of that. I'm going to put in a banana. I normally use half, but I've got quite a few bananas at the moment, so I'm going to use a whole one for today. And let's put that in. And then, did any of you know that cleaning your teeth with the inside of a banana whitens them? I should try that someday. Not right now. Okay, so we got some banana. I'm going to put in some skim milk. Rather than whole milk today. So I'm going to put in a couple of scoops of skim. And a little bit of no sugar added maple syrup. And there for taste, not a whole lot. And some cinnamon, because that's good for us. Put some cinnamon in, and now let me get some water in there. All right, so now we've got some filtered water, and let's just blend that up very quickly, and then we can start. If I can get the lid on. I mean, come on. I'm just going to blend, so bear with me a second. Oh, and use the other one. I have two. Here we go. All right, so we've got some ice. We've got a smoothie. Hi there, Sandy. Good to see you as well. And Jody, I saw. Who else have I missed? Now, for those of you who are new to the broadcast, a very big welcome to you all. Just so that you know, DearMamaSal is a group of people who get together 3 times a week. And what we try to do is save money together, get creative together, do things that seem to make sense to us together. So you're more than welcome to join in. All right, so thank you, Jody. Jody's saying beetroot is good for the heart and helping blood pressure. Good. It'll be helpful if I could find the top to that. There we go. And of course, a pink straw in case, by the way, a pink drink and a pink straw in case Manon happens to see this. For those of you who don't know, Manon is a viewer of ours from France, and she loves pink, as does Erin. Okay, so you're wondering, can I taste the beetroot? No. I get a slight taste of the banana, not as much as I would have thought, but the cinnamon is coming through. So very nice, easy, made with skim milk rather than whole milk. Nice. All right, so here we go. I thought I'd show you, how many of you get stuck on healthy-ish desserts? And that was something that was been a problem for me in terms of I try to watch my blood sugar. You're going to see me pull these leggings up because unfortunately, or fortunately, I've lost some weight and the leggings are inclined to slip down. Anyway, so here's the thing. Like so many things in life, it will taste better if it looks better. All right. So what I'm going to do is show you what I do for dessert when I want to treat myself. All right. I start with a wine glass. And that to me makes a lot of sense. Hang on 1 second. There are certain things I don't want to take out before I absolutely need them. Here in Canada, for those of you who don't know, that's where I live, we can buy yogurt by the pouch. And for those of us who are in Canada, that's a great thing. But I'm not sure if you can do that in the States. Can you do that, Jody? Do you happen to know? Anyway, I really recommend it because it seems to last a long time. So all I do is this. I just take, you saw me just mix it all up beforehand, but I just turn it and I squeeze some yogurt in there. Okay. And then I got some raspberries out of the freezer earlier on, and I'm going to huck some of those in. And then some more yogurt. Some more raspberries. Now, obviously, you can add whatever fruit you like. Okay. And then, actually, let me do it the way I would normally do it, even though I'm not going to eat it just yet. There's something, I don't know why. Jody's saying she's never seen a pouch of yogurt like that. Well, sometimes we Canadians are better than most. All right, so here I'm going to take a little squidge of whipping cream. Why? Because I can. And this is coming from somebody who is diabetic and keeps it under control, breaking a lot of rules. And then I top it off with a little bit of granola with honey and almonds on top. Okay, and then just because I can, a few more raspberries on top. Now, how many of you pretty darn easy to make? And how many of you are going, I wouldn't mind having that for dessert? And you can obviously change up the different fruits. You can do it with bananas, but whatever fruit you have, I'm inclined to buy a lot of my fruits frozen because I don't, I save a lot of money that way. I'm not spending a lot of time with fruit that's gone off because the fruit's frozen. But there we go. That's for dessert. Now, I've got some raspberry juice left over, and I'm pretty certain you all know where that's going. Because, I don't want to waste it. Here we go. Now, another little tip. I want to say that I reuse a lot of these containers for measurements and things. You know, like I have. Hang on. You know, I reuse my coffee things, but inside I use a lot of these containers for measuring scoops. So I thought I'd mention that to you. And they work pretty well. And quite honestly, one of those, the way that you scoop it is about a cup. So there we go. Reuse wherever you can. And the honey almond granola is really great for a snack, which I will now have. And crunchy. Okay, there we go. Oh. The beet, I buy it by the tin and then I freeze it. Now, this beet I'm going to thaw, and once it's thawed, I will be doing a couple of things. I will be probably putting 3 or 4 slices, no, not even that, maybe 2 to 3 slices a day with my salad with some feta cheese on it. Very easy. So that's in the fridge now, just thawing, and I will have that later on. Now then, this is under the segment of Give Us This Day Our Daily Bread. I think some of you know that I allow myself about the equivalent of a bread roll every day. I make my own multigrain dough, and I make it slightly on the loose side because I nearly always add stuff to it. So today, what we're going to do, and by the way, keeping it in a plastic bag works really well. Some of you have seen me do this before. I just turn it inside out like this and then pull it off the plastic bag. Come on. Yeah, there we go. So then what I do is I'm now going to put it in the, what do you call it? In the sink, but inside out. So now the dough will sort of just drop away when I go to clean up later. All right. Here we go. Jody, I gather you're buffering. Did you? I know you know. Oh, that wasn't good. Hang on a second, everybody. Okay, that's good. All right, so I've got, there we go. All right, so we've got this going on here, and what we're going to do is, because I'm trying to use up Parmesan today, so I'm going to take some Parmesan cheese and put that into the dough. Just literally going to put it on top like this. And then also some of my freeze-dried chives in there as well. And now what we're going to do is just mix that all up together. It's going to be pretty sticky for a minute until we've got it worked in, but that's fine. We can handle it. I might need to add a little bit more flour to it in a minute, but we'll see. First of all, we'll add the Parmesan and see if that soaks it up. Yeah. Now this comes to you thanks to Jody, because Jody was talking to me this week about phyllo cheese bites with feta, phyllo pastry with feta inside. Great idea. And then I thought, why don't I make some with Parmesan? Now you can see now that it's coming together nicely. So I just keep going at it till I've got that incorporated. So basically I'm using Parmesan instead of more flour. Okay, and now let's just roll it out. And it'll just pick up the rest of it, I think. And what I'm inclined to do is I'm inclined to roll instead of knead. I don't know if any of you have noticed that. It's a lot easier and it does the same job as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so I just keep folding it onto itself. Till I got everything incorporated. A bit more over there, a bit there. Yeah, we're nearly there. There we go. So that's all incorporated, and now I'm just going to put it into a final bowl. So this is my daily bread. Now, what do I want to do with this? That's the question. I can turn this into some bites, and I can also turn it into a pita bread. I can turn it into a base for a pizza. All right. Basically, it's up to me, but I allow myself the size of a roll most days. Not every day. I don't, some days I just don't feel like it, but that is my ration. And by the way, I literally I make up a big batch every week, and then I package them like this, roughly the same size. Makes sense. So I know that I'm just not going to be able to go back for a second or third. It's only this much I'm allowed. And it does work really well. So how about we do, first of all, let's do a pita bread. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just put this in half. And we'll put this in to cook as a pita bread. I got my toaster oven down here, so oops. All right, and I cook the pita bread about, I've got it on at 350 at the moment, and I probably cook it about 15 minutes on each side. That's normally what I do. In the meantime, what I thought was, from the same allocation, I'll roll it out. Getting a little sticky again, so I might need to add a little bit of flour or something. And now I can just make some twists. All right, so I'm just going to take the bread dough and twist it like that. And so these I can have maybe with some sour cream or something. Now, if you're really feeling, you could roll these up with bacon. In fact, why don't I've got some bacon bits. I'm gonna put some in. Very good idea, so we might have to start those other ones again. Okay, there we go. Some bacon bits there. That was such a good idea. So I'm just going to roll it out a little bit this way and then roll them in the bacon bits. It's all being stuff used up, right? There we go. Those are nice. And I'll sprinkle a few bacon bits on top of there. Just roll those bits. Okay. So as I said, I'm going to probably just literally have these and dip them in sour cream or something while I'm watching the tennis. I've been watching the Australian Open, so there we go. Now these are going to not take very long to cook. So I'll put them in when we turn the pita over in a second. Parmesan would go well on the twists as well. Yeah, I've got the Parmesan in it. Do you think it'll be too much? Maybe not. Maybe I'll just sprinkle some more. Good idea, Jody. We'll just sprinkle some more on top. And grow a little bit more. Thank you for that. Now, pretty easy, right? You put these away again. Now, talking about portion control, can you see that what I do is every day I have a few little bits that I can eat when I'm watching television. It's all part of give me this day my daily bread. That's how I do it. And it seems to work. So we'll wait until the pita is done or half done, and we'll put this in for the second half. Now, obviously, we're not going to waste that. We'll put it in with the chicken when we do it. Okay, so it can go there. Awesome. Just going back in the fridge. Now, because we're creative people, what else could we have done with those bits? What else could we have put in them? Almost anything. You could have Yeah, maybe got a bit of leftover jam. Put it in the dough. Why not? Maybe you've got a little bit of leftover whatever. Just add it and enjoy it. One of the things I've always said is the more that maybe even pulverize it down into a powder, and do that. I try to incorporate vegetables into almost everything I do now, or protein or something, right? Just so that it's a little bit healthier than it would have been just on its own. All right, so now then we've got the Parmesan cheese bites going. That's good. We've got the cheese pita going. A drizzle of honey over the top of them when they're cooked. That would be very decadent, right? Or to make a honey and peanut butter dip for them as well. That would be, yeah. I like the thought of that. But you understand, that's my ration of dough for the day. And doing it that way, I have managed to keep my blood glucose under control. Right? It's not that I can't have bread. I make my own. This one I made, this has got a little bit of, it's got flour, regular flour. It's got oats. It's got chia, flaxseed, some psyllium husk in there. All right, so it's not just flour. It's a lot of different things. You could put, get into the habit of cooking your own bread. Why? You know what's in it. And I can eat more than I used to. Why? Because the way that I make it, it's not spiking my blood sugar. And when you think that I have bread every single day, that's something to think about. And could you turn that into all sorts of different things? Yes, as I said, think pizza crust, think all those things that get made from a dough. And that's what I do. I just, I make focaccia out of it sometimes. Sometimes I turn it into a pizza. Sometimes, it's just what I feel like today. And by the way, if I don't eat it, which happens quite frequently, I just got to turn this one over. Hold on a second, people. Just want to show you the first half. Yeah, you can tell this is hot, right? We like that. Okay, so there we are after 15 minutes. I'm now going to flip it over. There we go. And then we'll just add these bits to it. Looks like this is pretty well done, so it probably won't take very long. And for those of you who've known me a long time, I'm always into what can I... I can do this. Yeah. Phew. I'm about what can I have, not what can't I have, all right? So I'm constantly looking at what can I have to eat, not what can't I have. So I found out that I can have that much bread dough, which pleases me. Now then, I was going to show you something else that I've done, and that is, how many of you like asparagus? And what I'm inclined to do is cut the ends off my asparagus, and when I feel like having asparagus, but the taste of asparagus, like today, all right, I'm just going to cook the ends. And what I'm going to do is just put them in one of my little containers here. I'm going to cook them long enough so that they become soft once the bread is done. And then what I will do is just before I serve it, I will sprinkle some Parmesan over the top of that. And that'll be vegetable for today. Now then, what other vegetables could I have? Almost anything. But what I'm thinking about having is a salad as well. So let's do that. Now, this is something that I've been doing. Hi, Caroline. You didn't know you could eat the ends, really? I just find that after they're frozen, that softens them up a bit, and once they're cooked, I quite like my asparagus a little bit crunchy anyway. So it's just an idea. Nice to meet you, Carolyn. Where are you from? Yeah, which country, which state? And thank you for finding us. And how did you find us? Okay, so here we go. I'm going to show you how I build my salads upside down. And we also need, yeah. Okay, this should be a pretty good salad. Well, Carolyn from Atlanta, Georgia. Georgia. Great to meet you. All right, so this is what I do. I build my salads upside down. So once they're done, I can turn it upside down and have a good-looking salad. Do any of you do that? By the way, portion control. This is a portion for me. So we're going to start with, I've got it here. I think I've got just a little bit left. Okay. So this is some leftover onion topping stuff. A bit of crunch in there. By the way, I will be washing this. They make the perfect containers for, I buy my raisins and cranberries and things in bulk, and then I decant them into these containers. They're really useful. So that's going to get a good wash tonight. All right, so the one thing that I found is if you're going to be leaving the salad for more than a day, don't put your cucumber in. All right? Well, it's good to meet you, Carolyn, and thank you for being here. I love it when the people who watch come in and say hello. It's always a pleasure. And let me know, why did you choose today? You've been a subscriber. I came from Judy's page. Well, there we go, a long time ago. Yeah. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to put cucumber in because I know I'm going to eat it straight after the broadcast. And the easiest way that I do it, I found, is I just cut off the amount that I need, a bit, and then I just chop it up. Okay, so there's my cucumber. I also want to have my, and now I buy tomatoes in two ways. Oops, what have I done here? Hang on a second. I'm accidentally writing to you without meaning to. Well, Carolyn, it's always a pleasure to have you pop in, so don't worry about it. Okay, so I'm going to add some tomatoes. Remember, I try to eat the rainbow, so there's my red. I've got beets in my smoothie, so that's red as well. So that's going to go in. What else do I need? Oh, I got more. I've got some orange, some pepper. I tried to get 2 colors of peppers, of both orange, the orange one and the red one, depending on what color I need to add. So I'm just going to cut this in half. Now, I think all of you know, I like to add some fruit in with my salads because that helps me get my quotient of fruit. So I've got some dried cherries, not very many. All right, so I'm just going to throw those in. Time to buy some more. And that's pretty much all I need, I think, except for this lettuce. Now, I buy my lettuce growing. Do any of you buy it actually growing? So this has already been in my fridge for a week, but it's going to be fine because it's still growing. And the new one will be arriving soon. But in the meantime, let's finish the one that I've been using this week. Yeah. So I've just got a little bit left here. Right, just the very end of it like this. And what I'm going to do is put that in first because that's the most delicate part. By the way, I'm not going to throw this away. This is going outside because sometimes it'll just keep growing. And then I just keep it in the fridge like this. It just goes straight back into the fridge. And it is constantly causing condensation and keeping itself moist. So it's a butter lettuce, a living butter lettuce. I love it. Now I've also got other lettuce that I use, but let's use this up first. Some of you are probably wondering, why am I washing this lot and not the other lot? The reason is this is the outside. So I'm inclined to wash the outside leaves. So there we go. Let's do that. And then we'll just drop those on top. I don't know if you can see. No, you probably can't. Let me open it up again. But right in the center there You see it? There it is growing. That very center bit is green. It's growing. So we'll just let it do its thing. And if after a week or two it's not sprouting, then it goes in the compost. So there is my salad. Okay. And then, because we're getting rid of Parmesan, when I turn that upside down later on, I'll sprinkle some more Parmesan over the, or some, because I haven't got any in there yet. I'll just sprinkle it over the top. Yeah, you buy it in the grocery, that living lettuce. Just, it's called a living butter lettuce. Quite honestly, if you look for it, you can get quite a few lettuces that are growing. And I try to get them whenever I can. Okay, I'm just going to put these in here for now. I'll sort those out later. I'm just going to get the pita out. Now, the pita that I make every day, what I will do is, once it is cooled, I will slice it. And I normally slice the bigger end. And then tomorrow, the first meal I have is one of these filled with butter, lettuce, and cheese. And that's my sort of brunch type meal. And it really keeps me going for most of the afternoon, just like that. So we're going to let that cool. And I'm just going to let the little bites cook another 10 minutes because they went in later. All right, so it's good. Any other questions? Ask away. Now, do you understand that by cooking my own dough or making my own dough, I can choose to add whatever I like to it? And as I said, I add all sorts of vegetables or even fruit. Some of you saw me add fruit to my dough one day, and it tasted really good. I was really impressed. But remember, we are meant to eat 5 servings of fruit and vegetables every day, and most of us don't. So I keep trying to find new ways. The other thing, whenever you can, whenever you prepare a meal, stop for a second. I say this all the time because Benji taught me this, and it really has changed the way I eat. Whenever I cook a meal for myself, I stop and I go, am I eating the rainbow? In other words, do I have reds, oranges, green, yellow, whatever? Do I have a rainbow of color? Because if I do, it's a pretty balanced meal. And I really encourage you to just stop for that second and go, what do I need to add? And say to yourself, I need to add red. It could be beets, with a bit of feta cheese, if that's white. It may be tomatoes. It may be red peppers. It may be, reds are normally the ones that I'm inclined to have to add. And that's why I buy the little tomatoes. So I can just drop a couple on the side of the plate if I want to. Okay? All right, so this is going to go in. So we're going to have the Parmesan chicken, and then to follow, or we're going to have the asparagus with it. And then we're going to have the salad on the side. And the reason I do the salad on the side is so that I can sort of eat away at that maybe while I'm watching television or whatever. It ends up going on the same sort of area as my snacks for the evening. And I do make snacks every evening. So what I will do is eat the Parmesan chicken with the asparagus, and then later on, I will have the dessert for sure. And then, about an hour later, I probably will end up having the salad. And then I will finish my evening probably with the cheese bites that we've made. Does that make sense? So that I just eat them throughout the evening. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for the cheese bites to cook, how about some overnight oats? All right? Good plan. And they really are so simple to make. I'm hoping that you all make them for yourself. Rolled oats are really good for our system, and they're good fiber. And, yeah, I know that they've got calories in them and so forth, but, the good that they do outweighs the bad stuff. And so what I'm going to do is just put in about a third of a container. Okay, so about a third of dry. Now, today, for these rolled oats, I've decided I'm going to add, what did I decide? I was going to add some, did I put it away? All right, people, it's here somewhere. Where is it? There we go. Some chia seeds. Do any of you add chia seeds to your oats? Why not? Now, you'll remember that I dry the ends of my oranges. I eat the center part, but the ends of them I dry, and I put them in water like this and have orange infused water. But what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to put some orange peel in with my oats. Just going to get the end of it off. Yeah, I don't need that. So I'm just going to blend that up first. So think about this, a little bit more fiber, a little bit more good night, Carolyn. A little bit more fiber, a little bit more fruit, all adds to the taste. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add some coconut because we're trying to get rid of that. All right, so Sandy's saying just the overnight chia pudding for me. Oats would spike me to the moon. Yes, for some people it does. So you just keep to the chia. That's good to, the thing is, we all need to know what spikes us. I found out, funny enough, popcorn spikes me badly. So I'm busy on a new, because I want to be able to eat popcorn, so I'm on a new experiment on that one. All right, so I'm going to add some coconut to that. And I thought a little bit of allspice would give it a nice touch for a change. There we go. And then how about a teaspoon of no sugar added strawberry jam? That was a heaped one. by the way, if you don't know that, they do make the no sugar added jams in apricot and strawberry and raspberry and all sorts of things. So for any of you who might want to know about that. And then I just top it up with milk. And the thing about this is I can choose when I eat it and how. Now, you're wondering, what is she talking about? As this sits in the fridge, it's going to, the oats are going to swell up a bit and it won't be as liquid, all right? But this is about the right consistency when you start. Now, I'm going to be able to choose to maybe have a spoonful before I go to bed because it's just sitting in my fridge. I can choose to have half a cup for breakfast. How many of you are going, I could choose to use it as the base for tomorrow's smoothie? So the thing is that it's a really useful thing to have. Now, for those of you who don't want to be using whole milk, you could do it just with water and end up with the milk being the oatmeal itself creating the milk. So there's so many varieties and variations of it. But can you see that in this one, it's going to have a little bit of that allspice touch to it. It's going to have some coconut in it, a little bit of orange that I'm using up, but basically a very tasty treat. And how I choose to eat it will be what's fun for me, right? So it's a bit like my dough. Just because I've made dough doesn't mean I'm making bread. It might mean I'm making pizza or whatever. And so this will be enough to keep me going for 2 days. So for those of you who have type 1 diabetes or your insulin is off the, or your blood glucose is really off the charts, all right, be aware of what, if you can eat oats at all. As Sandy said, she can't. Now, I'm pleased to tell you I can, but like everything, in moderation, all right? That would be way too much to eat all of that. I'd probably, have a half a cup of it and thoroughly enjoy it. So, pretty simple. And that leaves us, we've got the cheese bites ready. Whoa, a little bit too ready, maybe. I forgot about this. A little bit of the crunchy cheese bites, no? But we don't mind, right? So we'll let those cool. They're pretty hot. And they're ideal for dipping. Yeah. Now it is Friday night. Friday night is the night that I get to enjoy all sorts of things. Yeah, the twists are done, Jody. But the question is, I'm going to let that one cool and I'll try it in a second. Now, in the meantime, the asparagus had just about thawed. I'm going to put that in for about 10 minutes just to cook up a little bit. And then I'll keep them warm with some Parmesan cheese on top. Maybe 15. Let it cook like that. Okay. So That's done, that's done. Which basically leaves us with the chicken. And what I wanted to talk to you about is I buy my chicken in bulk, and then I decant it down into smaller portions. So what I did was I had 2 pieces yesterday, so I used the one. So this is the second piece. And this bit is stored. So obviously, because we did it as a twist, it is crunchy. I can taste the bacon bits. Oh, that's nice. Nice and easy to do. Now then, Jody, I wonder if you could do me a favor for a second, sweetie. Oh, maybe I took notes. Hold on, I think I did take notes on this. I gotta find them with my phone. The benefits of marinating chicken in lime. Do you all know that it's a good thing to do? Question is, can I find it? Knowing me, I took a note about it because I thought I knew that it was a good thing to do, but I just didn't know. Hang on a second, gotta find where I put it now. When in doubt, search for it, so. Lime. Lime chicken, there you go. Okay. All right, so lime in a marinade for chicken, all right, will make the chicken juicy on the inside. So it breaks somehow or another, it permeates into the chicken. And I found that a marinade of lime and soy sauce is just amazing, the taste you get from it. It's so simple. So the question is, what are we going to use as our breading? Now, I think you all know that I make my own breadcrumbs from my sourdough that I make. And you also probably know that when I bread my chicken for baking, I don't use egg or flour. All right. I just literally use the the moisture that is on the chicken. Or have any of you used mayo as a way? Dunk your chicken in mayo and then into whatever mixture you want. But the most important thing is, what are we going to put in it? So we're going to put, obviously, some breadcrumbs. And we're going to put some coconut, right, because we're trying to use up the coconut. But I've actually got like a coconut flour here, which I think will be even better. So we'll put some coconut flour in there. This is some of my homegrown rosemary, and this is where I pulverized it down. I've got a feeling that's going to add to the taste, don't you? It always smells so good. I don't know why. And by the time I've used this up, it'll be spring again, and I can start cutting it fresh. Yes, Jody's saying mayo or sour cream works, even yogurt, all right? So you don't need to use an egg. You can just dip it in something. Actually, yogurt would give it a really nice taste as well. Have you ever put yogurt into your dough? All right. uh, or into your soups? You know, it's amazing how good that is to add. All right. So here we've got all of this. We're just going to mix it all up together. Now, you notice that I do a lot of my cooking now in these. I do my mixing in it and I cook in them. They have been proven to be so useful. All right, so now I'm going to take this out and just dump it straight in. That's looking pretty good, people. And what we will be doing is just cooking that for about 10 minutes each side, and then let it just cool in a little bit in the oven. So I'm going to put that right in. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I've got a liner in my little baby oven here so that I can put this straight in on the liner. So all those little bits won't drop too far. There we go. And again, I've got the temperature at about 350, so that's good. The choices that we have are about how do you buy your chicken. Uh-oh, hang on, I'll be back. Okay, I know. I have a highly sensitive smoke detector. And I'm happy for that. But I keep forgetting to turn my extractor fan on, and that will handle it now. It gets the blood pressure going, right? I'm just seeing what my resting heart rate did with it. Yeah, I jumped it up a little bit. And you've all done it, right? It's not just me. Okay, so there we go. I know that I have there it is. All right. So we basically got quite a spread here that I'm going to enjoy after we finish the broadcast. And what I encourage you to do, you know, we've talked about shop in your own freezer or shop in your own pantry. Stop buying new stuff. Look in your pantry and go, what have I got too much of? Jody's saying she set hers off a couple of days ago and she thinks she jumped about 3 feet. I was actually surprised that I did it pretty well. And I got rid of it pretty quickly as well. I'm getting more experience now. For those of you who weren't at the lunchtime broadcast, I have more sad stories to tell you about my new air fryer. It arrived, the replacement for the one that I let go, and they sent the wrong model. So what they did is I spent about $300 on the good one, complete with a grill for doing sensational steaks and everything. And they sent me one without the grill, the special grill. And it's like $100 cheaper than the one that I got. And I luckily, because I'd had the first one, I knew it was meant to have a smoke filter, which you can tell is important to me, right? And so when I unpacked it all, and I went, wait a minute, there's not a smoke filter here, and that got me looking at other parts of this oven. Was it the same model? No, it wasn't the same model. And therefore, now, do I think it was a mistake? Yes, probably. I don't think they tried to cheat me. They look the same. It's just it hasn't got all the components to it. And so I managed to get hold of them, and they agreed that they sent me the wrong one. So I got to pack it up again and send it back again and still wait. This is the Christmas present I tried to buy myself in November, people. How many of you are going, maybe you shouldn't have it, Sal? I'm going to get it. All right, so quite honestly, by checking what I have got, all right, so what happened to the original? It stopped working, Sandy. It had moments where it just cut out, which was fine, and then one day it just never worked again. So that's why I sent it back. And I'm not 100% sure why. I'm hoping it doesn't happen to the second one. But maybe it does. I don't know. I'm going to probably position the new one when I've got it all together. I'm going to put it probably on that side of my oven. That's what I'm thinking. I might put it over there and use it there. It means I've got to reconfigure everything in my kitchen. But I'm thinking that maybe, the power here isn't strong enough, maybe. So I thought what I'm going to do is I've got a plug. I don't know if any of you got that, but my oven actually has a plug on it. And so I may just plug it straight into the oven, which I think will be a better, it's got a better rating on it than just the local plug that you use for the television or something. That's what I'm hoping. So that's what I'm going to try. But it's like I have to laugh because I've had this one that I've got below here. I've had it for probably 20 years nearly, I would think. At least 15 anyway. And I realize now that it must have been one of the original, it's like air fryers. It's a big toaster oven with convection, and it has a rotisserie in it and everything. And then I've also got, of course, for those of you who are regular viewers, my big one, the halogen. And I would not stop using that. I just want to tell you, the halogen has been so useful in my life, especially when I'm entertaining, because I can, literally be doing one thing. I've used it out on my deck, the halogen. I've been barbecuing, but I've had roast potatoes or baked potatoes cooking in the halogen at the same time. It's just like that halogen has proven to be, for the money, it was a third of the price of what it cost you to get an air fryer. And it really did the great job. However, it's a little bit more clumsy to use. And that's why I'm not going to, that's why I want to get the upgraded air fryer. if I can get it all working. It is amazing, isn't it, that I keep having these problems. The first model, if you remember, set off the alarm all the time. That's the first time that my oven here has actually set off. So I can only think that something dropped onto one of the burners here when I wasn't looking. But it is what it is. Okay, so I think that let's hope I don't set it off again. Okay, let's check to see how done the... Yep, they're pretty nicely done. They're just a little crunchy, not too much. So now I'm going to put some Parmesan over there. And yeah, I think I'm going to put a couple of bits of tomato in there as well. Something says that's a good idea, so let's go. I forgot to check the little label there. So I'm just going to put some tomato, it's hot, tomato over the top. Yeah. And then I'm going to put some black pepper over the top of that. That's looking good. So that's what it looks like before I put it into the heat. And I'm just going to turn the chicken over. Now, remember, I didn't use any oil or anything on the chicken. I've literally just put it in the Parmesan mixture, and I'm just literally baking it in the oven at 350. It will be fine. You know, if I really wanted it crispy, I could spray a little bit of oil on it, but quite honestly, I don't need that necessarily. So I'm learning not to need it to be that crispiness, so that helps. Okay, put that back in the fridge. So we've got a complete meal done now. How long? That wasn't bad, right? Took us an hour and a bit. What's the time? Hour and a quarter. And it's a complete meal and oats for tomorrow morning. And when you think about it, a lot of time is spent talking to you. So it's even in an hour that was done. The question is, will I eat all of this chicken tonight? Probably not. I will save probably half of it and have it tomorrow or on Sunday. But at least it's cooked now, so I know that it's cooked. And the thing that I found does really make a difference is, I always thank Jody for this, but she taught me make sure that you eat what you want to eat. And it doesn't mean, if we've got, now obviously if you've got bad diabetes or whatever, you can't eat the same way as maybe I do. But what I've done is in the last couple of years with Jody's help, I've been able to work through a system of what I can eat. And I don't eat, for example, everything that I might have today. I don't eat that every day. But, every week I do. Every week I try and have a little bit of pasta. All right. I have a third of a cup and I cook it up every week, and it might be spaghetti or it might be macaroni, whatever. Every week I try and make sure I have the things I like to eat, because that's called living. What else to do with the Parmesan cheese? So we've used up a bit, but I've still got another full one of these in the fridge. So this week I will be making mac and cheese and including Parmesan. I'll make a 3-cheese mac and cheese for myself. And I will try not to eat it all. Very difficult. That's another way I can use up the Parmesan. Any other ideas? How else can I use it? Because I accidentally bought one thing too many. Now, I could freeze it. I'm trying not to put things in my freezer at the moment. I'm trying to empty my freezer a bit rather than put more things in. So let me hear from you. What else could I use my Parmesan for? Any other ideas? I quite honestly like the bites. All right, so Jody's saying, one of the most beneficial bits of advice you gave, Sal, that's me, was to focus on what can I have versus focusing on what you can't have. It's a game changer, that mindset of positivity. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Hello, Lynn. Wherever you've come from, welcome. What a great idea. Yes, make some popcorn. And that's the experiment I'm going to do this week. I found out that the butter flavored, hang on a sec. I think that's what it's called. I bought myself some popping corn that supposedly was butter flavored, but boy, did it spike my blood sugar. So what I've decided is, what about straight popcorn? That's the test I'm going to do. Does straight popcorn also do that? Because if it doesn't, maybe half of this and half of the straight popcorn mixed together, would be the way to go. All right, because I'm gonna have popcorn. You know that. So, but what a great idea, to sprinkle some on my popcorn when I make it. So tell me something, Lynn, do you sprinkle it on after it's done or before it pops? When do you put it on? Yeah, Sandy's saying the same thing, plain popcorn, pop it yourself. Yes. All right, so when do I drop the Parmesan in so that it pops around it? I need help, people. Thanks, Lynn. Okay, so cook it first, then throw it in and just mix it all up. Am I getting that right? After it's popped. Okay, thank you guys. I appreciate that. So maybe we'll do that next week. Maybe we'll do the experiment next week. So what I've done, because, I like to do experiments, that. What I've done is I noticed the day, don't you dare call me ma'am. You're going to make me feel older than I am, Lynn, but I love you for it. Thank you. Here is the thing. I know that if I take that much popcorn and eat it at night, it spiked my blood glucose to about a point. A full point. So that's okay. That's good to know. So now we'll do a test and have popcorn without anything on it, see where that takes it, and I'll have it at night. And then by next week, we'll do a test and we'll make some with the Parmesan in it. Thank you so much. Wow, look at that. It's make cinnamon roll popcorn with cinnamon and Splenda. I'm looking forward to I'll buy some popping corn. Jody, please add it to the list this week, and then we'll do some experiments. Actually, I think I've got a little bit here. Yeah, I do have some. Don't worry, I've got some here. All right, so that's fun. So Jody, let's come up with a few interesting flavors, and we'll try some for next week. I'm looking forward to that. And the interesting thing I found this week, Jody, you talked about the phyllo with apricot jam in it, and I wonder if I can get no sugar added apricot jam. Guess what I found? I found that I could save 45% by buying 2 of them. You remember what I'm saying? Sometimes always check what happens if you add, is there a bulk purchase? 45% I saved by buying 2 of them. And apricot jam or apricot, I know different people call it different things. That's something that's really nice to have with chicken. It's really nice to have, if you're doing, add it to a dip or something. So it's not going to go to waste. I can put it into my overnight oats as well, right? It's all going to taste good. Yeah, 45% I saved. It blew my mind. It actually blew my mind. I just kept scrolling and going, what if, do they have a bulk possibility here? The other thing is, I find when I'm doing those shopping decisions now, I don't know about you guys, but I open up my local store and I open up Amazon at the same time. And all the time I'm checking, this is what my local store is charging. What about Amazon? What's Amazon charging? And sometimes it's amazing the difference. By the way, you will remember at lunchtime, Jody, I asked you to remind me I need to buy medium-size freezer bags. I found there was a deal going on, but when I actually checked it out on Amazon, Amazon had a deal that had a pack that was like 1.5 times the number of the other one, and it was less. So again, buy bulk where you can. You're not going to regret it. How many of you have noticed that the price of meat is now astronomical, especially beef? I cannot tell you how glad I am that I stocked up with roasts, not cuts of meat, and I really would say to that, if you are on a limited budget, bite the bullet and buy a full roast, buy a full chicken rather than just chicken breasts. Because you will get a full chicken for the price of a couple of, maybe one chicken breast. Have a look at, what does the barbecue chicken at the local store cost you? Sometimes you can get that an incredibly cheap price and just, take it off the bone, hard work, but you can save an awful lot of money. I look at it now and go, the bigger I can buy the cut, the more I'm going to save. And so, some of you like to have steak. I now know that I would rather buy a sirloin chip roast and cut it into steak-sized pieces, because for most of the time, that's really what I need. All right? And it saves me a fortune. Let me give you an idea. I was looking today and I was thinking I could really eat one of those ribeye steaks again, the ones that I cooked up for Dougie when he came. And the price was like $36 for a steak, one. And then I went, let me just see what a sirloin is today, a tip sirloin. And it was like $16. And I'm going, I'll wait until Dougie next comes before I have the ribeye again. In the meantime, I'm quite happy to have a sirloin steak that I can cut myself at that price. All right, I can probably get from one of those roasts that size, I can probably get about 6 or 8 steaks out of it. Yes, Jody is saying we always buy a full roast now, and I hadn't realized how much of a saving it can add up to. I won't be doing it the other way. Well, that's what I wanted to make sure you understood. Everybody thinks, gosh, you're cooking a roast. For example, I'm going to, when Yvonne and Wade next come, they ask for roast beef. I'm happy to cook a full roast beef. Why? Because whatever they don't eat is going to get cut up and bagged into sliced meat. I will also make extra gravy. I will make extra Yorkshire pudding. And guess what? It'll all get bagged up so that I can grab a couple of slices of roast beef with the gravy, which I will make with wine and stuff, right? And then I will also be able to take a couple of Yorkshire puddings, and in an instant, I can just warm up a full roast beef dinner with some vegetables, grab some vegetables while I'm at it. And so to me, that is a great saving if you want to think about it and you want to do it. As I said, a full chicken. When you look at the price of a couple of chicken breasts versus a full chicken, it's a no-brainer. Get the full chicken. I don't particularly like dark meat, but you know something? It's now on my list that I need to, if I can buy a whole bag of chicken breasts, that's a pretty good saving. So that's how I buy it. I don't buy one or two. I buy a box of chicken breasts because that is quite a saving. But if I couldn't do that, then I would buy the whole chicken and use the other bits in other ways. All right. Hi, Irit. How are things in Israel? Good to see you. Well, it's actually evening here. So we're just about done, I think. So we'll test that chicken. And let me just see. I want to tell you, I did not waste my money on this thermometer thing. Chicken. And it says it needs to be at 165. Let's see what it is inside there. Whoops. There we go. To me, it just takes a lot of the worrying out of cooking meat now. Done. Yum, yum. All right, so Irit's saying that her husband cuts up the meat and freezes it nicely. Yep, it definitely is a saving. Shush, shush, now I know. You told me. You don't have to keep telling me. So first of all, here is our Parmesan with asparagus and tomato. We're going to put that on the plate. And then here is our chicken breast. Yeah. Okay, so I have got a side plate rather than a full dinner plate. Another way of helping me keep my portions under control, because yep, see, that's done perfectly. So what I'm going to do here is just slice this up. And have it be plenty. And then this I will let cool, and that will be ready for tomorrow. So simple, lots of color, using up what I already had in my pantry, nothing too fancy. And if I wanted to, because I found this out as well, I could even put some dipping sauce and use that to dip the chicken in, but I'm not going to do that because I want to have my little bites that we made. Okay. I'm going to have these with a peanut butter and honey dip thing. So I'm going to have those later. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you realize. Did I brine the chicken before cooking? Hi, Rinsky. No, I marinated it in lime juice and soy sauce. And I assure you, I don't know if you saw that, but I assure you that it is good and juicy. And I just literally baked it. So, and it is just, and the breadcrumb on the outside, you probably heard that's even crunchy. So, worked really well. I'm happy with it. So again, shop in your pantry, shop in your freezer, start using up what we've been stocking up on and rotate it. We're into another season, so make sure that you're rotating what is in your pantry. I hope you've enjoyed today. I certainly did, and I'm looking forward to eating all of this stuff now. So love you dearly. keep remembering that we are all learning all of the time. So if you find there is a really good deal by buying one thing instead of the other, please let us know so we can all maybe pick up on it in our own countries. I'm not sure what is happening, Irit, in Israel or wherever you are living. I'm not sure what the cost of living is doing, but it certainly is escalating here, and I don't believe that it's begun yet. I think we're going to go much, much higher. And that is why I am so glad I did put so much in my freezer earlier. It's so much better when that's off. So everybody have a wonderful week. Oh, well, not weekend actually. And we'll see you on Sunday. I'm looking forward to that. And in the meantime, be good to yourself. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your life. It's the only one you've got. Thank you, Jody. I really appreciate all you do for us. And we will see you on Sunday. This is Dear Mama Sal going, where is my... There it is. All right, so that's good. Irit's saying that the prices are going up where she is in Israel, but they are fine. They've got it under control. Hi, Julie. Julie's saying, have a great evening. Just catching the end. Have a great dinner. I'm going to enjoy it, and hopefully you all do as well. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, have a wonderful weekend until I see you on Sunday. Thanks, Jody. Bye-bye for now.